Gonna record. All right. Welcome everyone. Let's see. Oh my goodness, you guys are coming in so fast. I just want to welcome you. Tatiana, did I say it right? Welcome.
Yes. Hello.
Great. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Great. All right, everyone. We got another minute, and then I'm gonna bring this young lady to the front of the room. This is her passion, teaching about IG, and I just want you all to know she has put a lot of effort into this. She's been sharing with me what she's gonna. Got excited for you. All right, so it is now 7:05. And I am going to bring to the front of the room this young lady. Oh my God, I've known her for a while now, and I have just grown to love her. She has so much to impart to us tonight. So I just really want you all to get pen and paper. She is great at teaching. She makes sure that you understand what she really is trying to bring out. Okay, so you all are in for a real treat. So I'm going to bring to the front of the room right now, Miss Monica Johnson.
Your introductions are always so official. First and last name.
Yes.
All right, you guys. So I just want to get a feel for the room before I officially start. If you guys don't mind, if you want to jump on and actually say it, or if you want to type it in the chat, but just let me know some of the areas of concern that you have when it comes to your Instagram account, even if you don't have one yet. Like, what are some things that you're worried about, that you're confused about, that you're unsure, you know, that type of thing, so that I can make sure that I tailor what I'm going to speak about to everybody in this room.
I'll go first. This is Claudia. I have an Instagram account and I don't know what to do with it. Point blank.
That's most people. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Anyone else?
I'm like Claudia. I'm the same way. I have an Instagram hooked to my Facebook, but other than that, I don't know what to do with it.
Okay. Anyone else? I'm going to check the chat real quick just to see.
Yes, Monica, this is Beverly. I do not have an Instagram account.
Okay. No worries at all. Anyone else before I get started? Okay, cool. So we'll move forward. I actually did take some notes to keep me on track, because for those of you that have been on boot camps and stuff with me before, I tend to just talk. So I do have some things written down before I get into slides and stuff like that. What I put together for us tonight, I didn't get into too much detail simply because, like I thought, there are people on here that have Instagram accounts. They don't know what the heck to do with it. But then there are also people that haven't even created an Instagram account yet. So this stuff is more so like a little bit of strategy without getting into what the app looks like, what all the buttons mean and stuff like that. There's some things that we need to know before we even get to the actual technicality of how to work Instagram, okay? So when it comes to growing your Instagram account, you want to make sure that you do that as organically as possible. So back in the day, you used to be able to do a lot of things on automation and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys, if you're not talking, just please mute yourselves. This way there's no echo. So basically, with where the algorithm is at right now, Instagram has made it really difficult to automate certain things. The algorithm really values authentic, genuine, real connection. So that means, for example, when you go on somebody's Instagram, you want to like their post, you want to comment, You don't just want to comment emojis because bots can do that. So here's what you want to do. You want to separate yourself as a human being from bots, because there's a lot of people that try to get around the system and cheat the system when building their accounts. So Instagram is making it harder to do that, which is good for all of us that are on there to build a business, to build a brand. That also forces us to do what we're supposed to do on social media, right? We're supposed to be social on social media. So it's just important that we keep these things in mind when moving forward. So what I'm going to teach you is for the people that want to build a solid, valuable, and authentic network and following. Building relationships should be your first priority. You want to aim for the heart. I know when Earl gets on the Zooms and stuff like that, like I don't know, he's constantly pulling at my heartstrings, you know, like when you're building a business and you have something to offer people that is a solution to their problems, their stresses, the things that keep them up at night, and you're basically an answer to somebody's prayers, that's what you want to focus on. You should never precede your business. No, excuse me, your business should never precede you. When you put your business in front of you and you're not sharing your story and you're not being transparent with people, people can smell that and they run for the hills. So you always want to make sure that you tell your story. Telling your story is so very important. I'm going to get into detail on that in a second. But you want to make sure that you're telling your story, because that's one of the first things that people connect to. Even if they're not in your target niche, let me tell you, there's been people that I have followed because I heard their story touched me, and I really wanted to support their mission. So I gave them a follow. And that's the good thing about telling your story, because not only will you target your target people, but you'll also get some extra people that are outside of that, but still want to support you, still want to buy from you. Okay, so yeah, so first things first. For some of you that have been in a boot camp with me before, you know this is always where I start. This is, for lack of better words, the boring stuff. But if you really dive deep with the things that I'm going to discuss with you, it makes everything else so much easier. It makes it easy to create content. And pretty much after you figure out what your story is, the type of people that you need to connect with, your target audience, or what I like to call your person, when you know your person like the back of your hand, the creating content and everything else like that is very easy, because you know exactly what to say and what to do. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, you want to make sure that you know your person. You also want to make sure that you know your story. A lot of us have gone through life. We all have a story. We all have a journey. But when it comes to telling your story, we haven't really sat down with our story and thought about it and put it onto paper, which I think is one of the most important steps that you can take to getting your story out there. Oftentimes when we sit down with somebody or we're talking to somebody on the phone, it's like, okay, well, tell me about yourself. You guys, how many times has that question kind of stumped you and it's like, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. Like, it's just so much. So this is why it's so important to sit down with yourself, write out your story in as much detail as you possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, when you're writing your story, okay, it is very important that when you're writing everything out, you should be getting emotional. If you're not getting emotional, you're not diving deep enough. Okay, when it comes time to tell your story, again, this is what's really going to connect you to your target audience. It's your story. Even people outside of your target audience, that's what's going to connect you to your audience. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to get too into which questions you need to make sure that you have answered in regards to your target niche and stuff like that and telling your story. That's something that I will actually provide you guys with after the webinar, outside of the webinar, just to save us some time, because I also want to make sure that we have time for questions and stuff like that. I'm actually going to, I'm about to screen share. Let me pull everything up first. Okay, hold on one second. Okay. You guys can hear me okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now you guys, just so you know, I did make this mobile friendly. Oh, so that you could screenshot if you want to. Okay, now we're gonna quickly go over the whole share your story thing really quick, and then we're gonna move on to a few other things. Again, what I'm sharing with you guys is just basic stuff. I'm gonna throw in some gems, but it's basic stuff so that you guys don't feel overwhelmed and you can make changes to what you're already working with. You don't have to do anything too crazy. But yeah, so let's start with sharing your story. Again, this is the first thing that people tend to connect to. Yes, more so than your business opportunity. Like I said, you don't want your business opportunity to come into the room before you do. Nobody cares. When people buy from you, they're buying because they trust you, because they like you, because they want to support you. And there's something along with your story that they connect to. So it's only then, after that connection is made, that you really have room to even speak about your business opportunity. Knowing your story in detail will help you convey your story to your audience. Write it down, study it, practice telling it, know it like the back of your hand. This will not only come in handy when creating your content, but also with optimizing your bio. I'm going to go over optimizing your bio a little bit, not too much, because it can be a little complicated if I'm not actually going through a whole module and showing you how to do that. But there's, like I said before, there's just a few things that I want to help you guys change, especially if you already have an Instagram bio and you do plan on joining on the boot camp that I'm going to have for the, Earl's team. You'll at least have some of these steps done. So there's a little gem that I wanted to leave with you guys on this is, do you guys know what the highlights are? They're like the little circles underneath the bio on Instagram. Let me actually show you really quick what that looks like. Okay, so Garyvee is one of my favorite influencers to follow. I just love his delivery. He's from New York like I am. But you see down here underneath the bio, there's a highlight section for IG story Q&A, search me, films. He has a bunch of stuff here, but just so you guys know what it looks like. One of the things that I recommend to my students is to have an about me section. And that about me section is so powerful because no matter how developed your Instagram account becomes, people now have a direct way to go to a post where you share your story. It doesn't get lost in the feed as you grow your account. But I really think that it's a good idea to keep an about me section. It's a place where someone can go to get to know you. If for whatever reason they can't get to know you on the phone or via text or via your DMs, just depending on, what you're doing. Sometimes you can get caught up with doing stuff, but this also gives people the opportunity that may not want to talk to you right away to kind of get a feel for you, because let's face it, you have different types of followers, right? You have ones that just kind of lurk in the background and they wait for their right opportunity to kind of send you a DM or contact you. Then you have people that will even like DM you first. So you want to kind of cater to the different types of people that are going to be following you. So this is why having an about me section, you want to be transparent, put your story out there, and it's just easy access. And like I said, especially like for your new followers who may have followed you long after you created that piece of content sharing your story, this is kind of like a shortcut to that. And I'm all about creating almost like an ecosystem. Your Instagram account should almost be a funnel. And when I say a funnel is one piece of content should always lead to another piece of content and lead to another piece of content. For those of you that missed it, Yvette, I can't remember, was it Friday that I briefly spoke about Instagram, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was
Okay, right.
Friday.
Okay, so this last Friday I spoke about the algorithm. Okay. The object of the game, because Instagram, it's like a game, it's a numbers game. But Instagram, the object of the game is to keep people on the Instagram platform as long as possible. This is the name of the game for Facebook. This is the name of the game for any social media platform that you're on, because let's face it, all of these platforms have money to make. The more ads that these platforms can put in front of you, that's the more money that they make. So if you can aid them in that process, they're going to show your content. This is why it's very important to know your story so that you can tell it. And then this is another reason why it's important for you to know your target audience, like the back of your hand, so that you know what kind of content they like to keep them on your Instagram account longer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes lots of
It
sense.
does.
And I know that this is going to connect with people, for those of us that may not even have an Instagram account yet. It should start to get the gears turning in your head, like, okay, I can see how all of this is going to come together, at least a little bit, at least initially. So we're going to talk about optimizing your bio for a second, okay? Your bio is a snapshot summary of your profile, what you do, and who you are. Have this area of your profile having this area of your profile optimized separates the novice from the professional who is here to handle business. You want to make sure that in your bio, you should have 2 to 3 things that describe you. So if you like fashion, you could put that on there. If you are a military vet, that's something that I would include on there. Again, this is why it's important to know who your target audience is, because then you know which parts of yourself to highlight. So those 2 things go hand in hand. And that's why I start off with those 2 things in my boot camps. Your bio should also have a mission statement. What are you there to do? This should speak to your person. Lastly, your bio should have a call to action. Get in the habit of telling people what to do next. Now, the reason why this is so important, it's kind of part of psychology one-on-one. When you're taking that leadership role, you got to tell people what to do. If you want them to like and comment and share, tell them to like, comment, and share. If you want them to opt into your email list, that's when you could say something like, click on the link in my bio and subscribe to my email list. Sometimes people, especially with those of us that follow so many people, we kind of get numb to people telling us to constantly like, comment, subscribe, follow, so on and so forth. So you're going to have to find your own little unique way to separate yourself from the mediocrity, if you will, but definitely start getting in the habit of telling people what to do. Because even if they don't do it the first or the second or the third time, eventually they'll be like, oh, wait, let me follow. Oh, wait, let me click on the link in her bio. So keep at it. And just so you guys know, your bio section only has room for 150 characters, and it will cut off after a certain amount of characters. Your audience will have to click more to see the rest of your bio, so make sure your bio is structured properly to entice them to click more. If you guys noticed the steps that I gave you, there's a method to my madness. You want to describe yourself, 2 or 3 things that describe you, then your mission statement, then your call to action. Usually somewhere between describing yourself and your mission statement, that's where your caption is going to cut off. So if you're in the midst of your mission statement when it cuts off, and I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second so you know what I'm talking about. Actually, let me do that right now. Yvette, I'm going to use you. Okay, so take a look at Yvette's Instagram really quick. So we have abuse survivor, mother ×3, investment funded lifestyle, right? And you see how this is the beginning of her mission statement. I empower abused women to, okay, well, let me see what the rest of this is. Press more. To stand in their power and secure that bag. DM me for a consult. So she picked a few things about herself that she wanted to highlight that targets her niche, her person. Then she has her mission statement and then a call to action. Now, you guys, there's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. There is no one way to do this. But I found that formula, which can be done in many, many different ways, will help somebody see what your Instagram account is for and what you're there to do. And I wanted to give you some before and after examples here on the bio optimization. Okay. So here we have Shanita, who's on our team, right? And if you look at the first one, it's in the back where it says before, she has her first name, her last name, and then she called herself the side hustle queen, right? I helped her optimize her bio, I think maybe like a few days ago, maybe a week ago now. I helped her change her her Instagram handle, her username, to reflect her story and what she was there to do. Okay. And then where she used to have her first and her last name, I had her kind of just put her first name and last name, like the first initial of her last name, to make room for who she is and what she's there to do, basically. So she's a finance consultant. As you guys know, that we're all in here doing crypto, right? It is a way to finance or fund your dream. So that's kind of why I had her put finance consultant in there. Also, just so that you guys know, and I was saying this a year ago when I was doing my boot camps, and Yvette can tell you, Instagram is basically becoming a search engine, like YouTube, if you will. So I'm going to show you here really quick before I finish going over that. If you go into the search bar, if you go to the search section of Instagram, okay, and you go to search, you see how it says search puzzle cube. It's going to show you another one, search embroidery. Let's see what comes up next, latte art. It used to encourage people to search hashtags and just hashtags, but now it's encouraging people to search keywords, which means, especially for those that are on Instagram for business purposes, let's say somebody wants to learn crypto. You could type crypto in there. Let's do that just so that you guys can see what that looks like. Crypto. Okay, so the first thing that came up, I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one here. You can see that this woman is a crypto investor. She's a public figure. She's an author, speaker, financial activist, crypto educator. Remember how I said people are going to want to search crypto and learn how to do crypto? She's a crypto educator. So for those of us, again, that are on here for business, this is why it's a good idea to make sure that you have searchable keywords in your bio. Okay. So I also had Shanita add a few things into her bio just so that she could further connect with her target audience, AKA her person. So she's a wife. For those of you that can't see, that's like a wife emoji. Sometimes with the bios, because you only have a certain amount of characters that you can use, sometimes it's a good idea to use emojis in place of particular words, because you can still get your point across, right? So here she's saying that I'm a wife and a mom ×4. Then I had her put hashtag XCon in there, okay, because that's her target audience. She loves fashion. And then like she loves the idea of women supporting women. So when I was working with her on this, I was like, okay, well, how can we say the same thing, but without taking up so many characters? Well, we can use the universal symbol for female or woman. So that's what that means right there. And then her mission statement is, I help women like me fund their dreams with their own bank to beat a broken system. DM for a funding consult. Okay. So again, these are things that you can do on your Instagram account without, doing too much and getting bogged over the head with, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that. This is so complicated. These are little changes that you can implement now. With Yvette, I helped Yvette optimize her bio a little bit. And so at first she had, I empower abused women to take control of their lives and secure that bag. Okay. And then she, I think at one point she did have a link, but the link went somewhere that wasn't related to what she was doing at the present time. So I did have her change that. It's very important that the links that you have in your bios are in alignment with what you're doing. Because if not, then you'll be misdirecting your people, causing confusion. And oftentimes little things like that can cause an unfollow. So this is what I had her, we worked together to have her bio look like, right? So she's an abuse survivor, mother times 3, investment funded lifestyle. I know I read this to you guys before, but just for teaching's sake, I empower abused women to stand in their power and secure that bag. DM me for a consult. So you guys definitely want to make sure that you are telling people what to do, tell people about yourself, but then also tell them what you're there to do. Okay, let's go to the next one. I did save these a little bit out of order, you guys, so I do apologize. Okay. So one thing that I do see is that when they start leveraging Instagram to build their business, a lot of times when you look at how many people they're following versus how many followers they have, it's heavily disproportionate. When you're building a business, because oftentimes people will just follow, like, the people that they work with in the particular company, or they just follow their besties or their aunts, uncles, nieces, what have you. When you're on Instagram to build your business and you're talking about your business and your Instagram isn't just personal, because if your Instagram is just personal, keep it personal, keep it private. But if you're on there to build a business, your Instagram account should be public. And you want to make sure that, especially those that are following you and supporting you, commenting on your content, sharing your content, so on and so forth, you want to make sure that that relationship is mutual and it goes both ways, because again, the object of the game is to appease the algorithm. You want to show the algorithm that you're having genuine, authentic connection with someone. So if somebody follows you, yes, you should follow them back, especially if they are your person, aka your target niche. So yes, don't run your Instagram account like you would if you weren't building your business. You are building a business leveraging your Instagram account. Do just that. Don't just follow the people you know or just your friends. Follow your person. Your person is your audience. Follow them. Support their content like they support yours. Remember, this is what the algorithm wants and likes. This will help you get your content in front of your person on a consistent basis. Now, the next and last thing that I'm going to discuss with you guys, because I do want to leave room for, questions and stuff like that. Hold on, let me go to the next thing. The algorithm pays attention to not only somebody commenting, saving your content, commenting on your content, but did you know the algorithm pays attention to how you communicate via DM? So the algorithm really favors when you send a voice message or you send a video message. I've tested this. Some people I'll respond to just via like text in the DMs. And then sometimes I will communicate via voice message. I love sending voice messages. I'm on Telegram all day sending voice messages. But when it comes to Instagram, the people that I send voice messages to or video messages to, I see their content first. So if you're trying to get your content in front of somebody that either you just followed or they just followed you, whatever the case is, this is kind of like a little hack. Make sure you're sending voice messages or video messages, because those things, like I said before, you want to separate yourself from the bots. Text messages are very easy to send automated. So to separate yourself from that, just, send a voice message or send a video message. So I'm going to talk about etiquette real quick here. So when someone follows you, send them a message thanking them. You guys, I have tested this out. It works so beautifully. Be sure this is through a voice or a video message. This is considered more organic than just a text message in the DMs. The algorithm loves this and will push your content in front of your new follower. Now, when following your person, be sure to like and genuinely comment on their posts. Don't just do this on the first few posts you see. Scroll. If they haven't followed you first, more times than not, this will get you a follow and then proceed with thanking them in your DMs, as I explained before. You guys, I think it was all of 2020, I didn't make any posts, any feed posts. I didn't do any IGTVs. I pretty much maintained and slightly built my following just doing Instagram stories. I kid you not. I was able to basically sustain my following just through my stories. And that was in part because of how I was communicating to people in the DMs. I actually have some pretty cool friendships with people that I haven't even met yet. Just from doing that. So you definitely want to make sure that when you're on somebody's account, go through their Instagram account, like get a feel of what their lifestyle is. Do they have kids? How many kids do they have? Leave them a comment letting them know how beautiful their kids are. Or if you're into fashion and you see, that maybe the person that followed you is wearing like a really dope outfit. Comments, people love compliments. Keep it organic, keep it genuine. I'm telling you, more times than not, when you genuinely connect with people and you don't, have you ever noticed somebody that follows you, all of a sudden you'll get like 5 notifications that they liked like the first 5 posts on your profile? That's like the old way that you would do things. That's how you can tell somebody's just not up to date with how to work their Instagram, which is okay. People don't know what they don't know. But if you take it a step further, right? And you like maybe 1 or 2 of their most recent posts, then you scroll, then you comment and like one of their posts that they made maybe a few months ago, and then you continue scrolling. I usually try to interact with anywhere from 3 to 5 pieces of their content. And sometimes just for the heck of it, like I'll scroll all the way down and I'll usually get their attention. So you guys, I just really wanted to share with you a few things that you guys could do. Nothing too crazy, but what I shared with you is definitely something that can start to get some eyes on your content before knowing any crazy follower strategies or which hashtags to use, because in the bootcamp I'll be doing a whole entire module on hashtags. For those of you that were in the boot camp last time I did my boot camp, I was saying that you use like 30 hashtags. The rules have changed. So I'll be going over that stuff. I'll be going over with you guys how to optimize your bio in great detail. Show you guys how to set up your highlight section, like every little thing that you could possibly need to do with Instagram organically without paying for ads. Let me talk about ads for a second, because I know it's encouraged that a lot of us that are using Instagram for business, oh yeah, pay for ads, pay for ads. Let's bring it back to the beginning, the fundamentals, right? If you do not know who your target audience is and how to speak to them, and you do not know how to share your story, if you pay for ads, it's going to be money wasted. This is why I cover your story and getting to know your target audience first. Once you build a solid foundation and a solid following, because I also told you guys, this is a very common myth, and unfortunately I still see people clickbaiting about this on YouTube. Oh, get 10,000 followers in 24 hours, this, that, and the other. You do not need to have thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers to make a full-time income leveraging your Instagram for your business. If you do even the things that I told you about in this very webinar, when it comes to just genuinely connecting with somebody in your DMs or leaving a genuine comment on somebody's content, it's those things that are going to get you the followers and get people to talk to you, and then you could share your story with them and so on and so forth. You guys see where I'm going with this? So although this is kind of like the boring stuff, I promise you, once you guys focus in on this stuff and you get it just right, even when you get to the point where you can do ads, you've already done the research, right? You know how to speak to people. You even know what color to make the ads. You know how to structure it because you know which pain points they have. Okay, so that's why it's just very important to know these things. You guys have any questions? Because I tend to like keep talking without asking you guys if you need any questions answered.
Hey, Monica, Claudia was wondering, can you have more than one account?
Yeah, you can definitely have more than one account, but let me ask you this. Why would you want to have more than one account?
The reason I asked, just say if you have more than one business, would you include both business in your bio?
That's a good question. It depends on the business or the businesses that you have, because a lot of times you can find a common ground between the two. You mind me asking what the two businesses are?
Well, actually, I'm a Legal Shield associate. And with Legal Shield, we have to be very careful how we post things about the company, protecting the brand, because there are guidelines that we have to follow when we posting, advertising, and things like that. So if I wanted to know, in that case, should I have a Legal Shield Instagram account and don't mix that with anything else that I'm doing?
What else are you doing? Crypto?
Yes.
Okay. Well, honestly, either way can work. Either way can work. And I wish I could give you like a strictly black and white answer, but there's so many ways that you can use Instagram and have one Instagram funnel into the other Instagram. Remember how I spoke about before how your Instagram account should basically be one big funnel. One piece of content should lead to another piece of content. And I'll give you an example of that. When you're talking about, like, let's say you make a video and you're talking about Legal Shield, it's Legal Shield, right?
Correct.
So let's say you're talking about Legal Shield and you made a post yesterday, right? So you're talking about whatever you wanted to talk about on that particular piece of content, but then at the end you'll be like, hey, by the way, you guys, I did speak about XYZ, so check out my last post.
Okay.
Or, by the way, you guys, I also work with crypto. If you guys are interested in crypto and you like what I posted, I have my other Instagram account in my bio. So check my bio for my other Instagram account.
Gotcha.
So there's like a lot of different ways that you can do it. I do think that there is a way that you can marry crypto with Legal Shield. I know you do have to be careful. We should always be careful with how we put content on social media. I know with a lot of network companies, for example, you do have to be careful not to make income claims and stuff like that, which is we really shouldn't be doing that anyway, because you don't want to make it all about the money. It's not just about the money, right? So, and when people get caught up in that, it's like you're setting unrealistic expectations sometimes for people. Because, for example, I feel like, oh, I made $10,000 in one day. That can be very intimidating for some people. But then for some, it's like, okay, yeah, I could see how that works. So you just want to be very careful with how you say certain things. So yeah, I definitely get it. That's something that I would definitely need more information on where you want to go with your Instagram accounts, what type of content you want to post. Because with that information, with that type of information that I would get from you, I would better be able to guide you in the right direction, if that makes any sense.
It does.
But all in all, you can do either or. There is a way to make both options work, whether you just have everything on one Instagram account or you separate it. With the right
Okay.
strategy, you can really do either one.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Monica. This is Sybil.
Hi.
This is Sybil Chester. My question is in the chat.
Okay, let me see. Hold on. Can you do this on Facebook? I have followers and friends, but are stuck on inviting, and a lot of these are great friendships, people that I have not met in person. Can you do what on Facebook?
I'm doing crypto, and I wanted to know if I could do the same platform that you're talking about at Instagram. Can I do that in Facebook?
Are you more so talking about like the strategy that I had?
Yes.
Yeah, I would are you talking about when it comes to like the DMs and stuff like that, or like what specifically were you talking about that I was talking about with Instagram?
Basically everything that you're speaking of, as far as the bios, the DMs, the you know, all of that. And how would I do that?
So as far as the DMs, yes, I definitely recommend sending voice messages instead of text. It's been a while since I've been on Facebook. I just recently got back on Facebook from like a year hiatus. I think you can you send a video message on there?
Yes.
Okay.
Video? No, not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
Video well, I don't know. Video message.
I'll actually have to check when I get off. That'll be my homework to check.
Yeah, it's just that I've been on Facebook for years, and I've developed some great following and friendships, and I just wanted to, but it just seems like I can't get that through,
So,
and I'm very familiar with Facebook. I'm like,
do you know if all of these people are like your ideal person, or are these just people that you're friends with? Because depending on if they're your ideal person or not, you see, this is why it's very important when you're talking to someone and you're in the beginning stages of establishing that relationship in the DMs or in the comments or what have you. This is why it's important to ask them certain questions about themselves. Like, hey, tell me about yourself, where you're from, like, what do you do for a living, stuff like that. Because through extracting that sort of information, you collect that data and then you use that to form your, I hate to say pitch because you really don't have to pitch when you know what you're doing, and a pitch doesn't even sound like a pitch when you know what you're doing. But for lack of better words, a pitch, when you extract certain information from the person that you're talking to and building the relationship with, you'll know how to manipulate it to favor or match or be in alignment with them. Does that make sense?
yes.
So what I suggest, just to kind of get back in touch with these people that you want to bring on board crypto, or you want to bring on board whatever it is that you're doing, just reach out to the people that you have in mind and just kind of catch up with them. Ask them what they're doing. Almost start from the beginning, but not really, because you already have a relationship with them. But just try to go deep and really just ask them those questions. Because now is a good time to do it because of everything that's going on, with COVID and stuff like that. So now is a good time to check back in with people, see where they're at, see how they're handling things. Because people are going to be telling you about their pain points, especially now.
Yeah, I have a lot of followers that have told me that they follow me because they like my content and so forth. So I'm trying to really get connected with those groups also, not just the people that I've been talking to on there for years, but also them too.
No, that's awesome. And also, you guys, get in the habit when somebody compliments your content. Oh, I love your content. Like, don't hesitate to ask them what they like about it,
Okay.
because that's golden information. If you can get that information from that person that values your content, that really likes your content, whatever, you can take that and duplicate it. And that's pretty much how you scale. You're going to be bringing on more people that like your content. You're going to get more support on your content. And then whichever platform you're on, because a lot of what I teach is kind of universal, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I know Yvette's going to be doing a really bomb TikTok boot camp and stuff like that. But when it comes to getting to know your person and talking to your person, do not hesitate to ask them what they like, and just be honest. Be like, this is going to help me make my content better.
I did that one time with one person.
Do it again. Do it with everybody that you possibly can. Even in the comments. It doesn't have to be just in the DMs. Ask them in the comments, like, well, what do you like? This will help me do more of what you like and give you what you want. Because this is also, for lack of better words, it's kind of about people pleasing. You do want to maintain your audience, right? Give
Right.
them what they want. Sometimes it's not about what you think you should post. A lot of it has to do with giving your audience what they need. Also, something I do want to touch upon really quick is hashtags. A lot of us use hashtags because I know Facebook, you can use hashtags, if I'm not mistaken. Yvette, can you use hashtags on TikTok too?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so here's one little golden nugget. When it comes to hashtags, you're going to have to do a lot of research and find out what works. Okay, so it is a lot of trial and error, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Your people
Okay.
will tell you what they want. But a lot of us tend to use hashtags that we think are appropriate. Meanwhile, it's hashtags that our competitors are using, and then we're attracting our competitors, if you will. So for example, I know Claudia does LegalZoom, right? So if she does hashtag attorney, more than likely she's going to be attracting other attorneys, and that's not her target audience.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So somebody that is going to court or using, some sort of legal services, you're going to have to do a little bit of research and go on these people's profiles and see which hashtags they're using. They may not even relate to anything legal.
Right.
So it's definitely about using hashtags that your ideal person uses. And then also when it comes to creating content and stuff like that, give the people what they want. That's how you're going to keep them on the platform longer. And that's how the algorithm is going to send your content out to more people because you're helping them make money. Does
So I'll
that
be
make sense?
Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of research then.
Yeah, for those of you that are really detail oriented and you like to pick up on patterns and cycles, which I know some of us that are in crypto and Forex and stuff, like I'm a very detail oriented person. I love research and just figuring things out like puzzles. If that's the type of stuff that you like, you're going to like Instagram. You're going to like these social media platforms because there's a lot of studying. Like then you're like, okay, well, how can I get in front of this person? What does this person like? Like it's cool. It's cool stuff. And if
Okay.
you don't like it, that's okay. It's okay. I'll still show you stuff that can help you. But I'm finding that when it comes to, you do have to have a certain mindset when it comes to building your social media platform, your following, and so on and so forth. You do have to, I'm going to be honest with you guys too. I'm not going to lie to you. It is kind of like a job. You do have to babysit and nurture your social media accounts. You can't just post a picture and call it a day. You have to connect with people. It's a social media platform for a reason. So yeah, do you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns?
Monica's great training, but for us
Thank
old folks, I don't even know how to put content on Instagram. Like I said, I hooked it to my Facebook. And I thought whatever I post on Facebook showed up over there, but I don't think it does. I do mostly looking at other people's stuff and liking their stuff, trying to attract their attention.
Okay, yeah.
So are we gonna get into that later?
Yeah, so we are going to be having a boot camp for the team. Stay tuned for when I'm going to start that. I want to start it within the next 7 days. So 7 days from now, that's when I want to start the boot camp. So yeah, I'm going to be going in detail. Like I'm pretty much like each training that I do during the boot camp, I'm going to be spending like a day just really going through one thing. So for example, like the hashtags. Hashtags can seem complicated and overwhelming, but the way that I break it down in steps and everything, it's just one of those things that you have to practice and you just have to, find your own groove. When it comes to Facebook, a lot of what I'm going to be showing you guys to do on Instagram, you can do like a Facebook version of that. So when you are, Michael, when you're going on Facebook and you're engaging with people's posts and stuff like that, are you just liking or are you leaving comments too?
Yeah, I leave comments, and that's good information about the video comment. 'Cause I never thought about doing that to get around the bot texting thing. It's good,
Yeah.
good information.
Yeah, so if you can definitely leave voice messages, send voice messages. Sometimes like even if somebody doesn't request to be your friend on Facebook or whatever, if you want to connect further with somebody and further get their attention, the person that you whose Facebook status that you liked and commented on, your third step could be to slide into their DMs and be like, hey, bro, or however you speak to people, right? Just like, hey, so-and-so, I really like the piece of content that you posted, and just elaborate on the comment that you left. That can start a dialogue. Now the algorithm is paying attention to that. And that might prompt the other person to follow you because now they're getting engagement on their posts. And to a person that is somewhat social media savvy, you want that engagement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I do a lot of stories on Facebook, and I know that Instagram has those reels. Like again, I go in there and watch the reels, but I don't know how to. I guess we'll learn with TikTok maybe how to do those kind of things. Make reels. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I cut you off. You were talking about reels. What were you saying?
No, I was saying I guess maybe Yvette will go into that when she teaches about TikTok, how to make reels and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing reels because reels is Instagram's version of TikTok.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm very intimidated by reels. I have not done my first one yet. So I know before I do this boot camp, you guys, I have to have a few reels to show you guys how I did it. So I haven't even done that stuff yet, but yeah, I'll be going over how to do reels and stuff like that, IGTVs. There's a lot of different types of content that you can share on Instagram. And I know Instagram and Facebook are kind of like, they're like together. They're like husband and wife, if you will. And I know Facebook just came out with almost like their version of Reels, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah.
What is that?
What is what?
I'm sorry. What is Reels?
So Reels is basically a short form video, meaning
like TikTok.
Right. So it's 60 seconds or less. I think the intervals are 15, 30. I'm not sure if there's 45, but it would make sense for there to be a 45 interval and then 60 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have seen things.
Yeah, I know Reels. And on TikTok, I know a lot of people on TikTok are doing this. I'll let Yvette talk about that stuff when it's time for her to talk about that stuff. Well, let me just add this real quick, Monica. One of the reasons why Reels and the short video has become so popular is especially because of the pandemic and everything, our attention spans are so short. So you have to basically catch a person's attention in the first what did she say, like 6 or 7 seconds?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's why they are becoming very popular, and they are a lot of fun to do. I'm gonna tell you guys, I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I do, but yeah. And then one nice thing about TikTok is, and Garyvee teaches this, you make a piece of content over there, and we learn how to take the watermarks off, and then you go post it on Instagram, Facebook, so you don't have to do several videos on each platform. And I go over to IG and I upload it as a reel.
And so, and I've learned how to use all the buttons in TikTok, and I don't really have to go over and learn all the buttons in Reels, you know. So, but I will, because I'm here in the boot camp and we'll be learning. But I've been told that the ones in TikTok is a lot more in there to create that short video. So I feel like I'll be okay learning over here with Monica and the Reels. So that's really cool that, you know, once you learn, and she's so good, she's gonna walk you through all of that. Don't worry, Michael, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna be here. But every time I talk to people, they like, Yvette, Dad, I mean, all you doing are videos. When we just gonna be able to talk to you, you know? And I'm like, I'm just here having fun. Shoot, we on this lockdown. I'm gonna do the short videos. I'm enjoying it. So I'm excited to share what I'm learning with you guys.
Yeah, I remember when Yvette, I remember when you didn't do videos at all. And then all of a sudden you just started pumping them out. I'm like, yes, Yvette, yes.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Well, and also when you think about it too, like 60 seconds, even 15 seconds is more than enough time to educate people on something. You know, just for example, like, you know, what Earl is always saying about how every $100 that you put into the bank, a centralized bank, they are turning around and making $3,333 off of that. How long did it take me to teach you that? 15 seconds. And what does that do when you share that sort of information? It puts you in position to be looked at as the expert. That can get you that follow, that can get you that subscribe, that can get you that friend request on Facebook. You see what I'm saying? So, and on top of that, oftentimes these pieces of content can be used on different platforms, or you can use them in different ways. So another example of that would be, you know, in the beginning, how I was telling you guys to write out your story, write it out in as much detail as you possibly can. Oftentimes when you really dive deep and you write your story, you end up writing paragraphs. You can take that story, that can be a Facebook post. You already did it, just copy and paste. Or you can split it up and put a piece of it on an Instagram, like that could be your caption to an Instagram post. There's a lot of ways that you can use one particular piece of content, whether it's written form, video form, what have you, and you can use it in different ways to save you some time, right? And usually if it's effective on Facebook, it's usually going to be effective on the other platforms too, especially when you know who your target audience is. And if your target audience is the same across all those platforms, you've just grown your engagement exponentially at this point. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that not only I'm going to be teaching you with Instagram, there's a lot of things that Yvette has been putting me on to in regards to TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know anything about TikTok. I'm going to learn about Reels before I know about TikTok, and TikTok came first before Reels. So it's like, I'm honestly waiting for her to start her boot camp so that I can learn about how to do TikTok, because that's a whole nother culture over there. So
Absolutely.
yeah, you guys.
Well, thank you, girl. This was fantastic. All I see is positive comments in the chat, and everybody is just ready to go. And we'll be sharing more about when, like Monica said, when she's going to start her actual boot camp, so you guys can get all in. All right. So we know Mr. Dixon is in the background. I'm going to bring him forward now. We are ready to hear from you, Mr. Earl Dixon.
Awesome training, guys. First of all, I'd like to just say I'm so proud of the team, and just watching you guys from a distance. You know, just start waking up your dreams, education and duplication. So education and duplication. So, you know, Monica just spent an hour or so educating you guys on why you should use TikTok and how, I mean, not TikTok, but Instagram, how you should use Instagram, why you should use Instagram, you know, and I'm going to be reviewing this video. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is stop this video, this training video. And I will make it available for you, Monica. I will send you the actual link for this video, because this video is on my cloud. So it's quickly shareable with you, so you can do whatever you need to do to share it with the whole team. So great job. I look forward to working with that bridge of traffic to be able to send new traffic to some of my platform offers. You know, and every platform that you learn, that's another bridge of traffic to your store. So I don't care what you're selling. You can be in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I keep saying that over and over again. You can be in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with a warehouse full of Jordan tennis shoes, $600 a pair. But unless people know how to get to your store, you might as well not even have those shoes. So tonight, I want to thank you, Monica, for your professionalism, Miss Yvette, for assisting Monica on bringing this information forward. And we look forward to many, many more training. So thank you, girl. Thank you, ladies. So let me stop this video. If you have any questions, please get back with Miss Monica and do some additional training if you need it. Thank you.